Alright, new video from Big Bouse, the baseball game that turned into a battle royale. Oh, sounds interesting. Let's check it out.
1974, Cleveland, Ohio. And as discussed before on this channel,
Ohio.
Cleveland at this point is a hub of investment and growth. Yes, their river has been catching fire regularly, over 13 times by now.
Here we go again.
And yes, jobs are being lost en masse due to deindustrialization. But don't mind any of that. Cleveland's baseball team has big plans. See, beyond the horrific pollution and local economic depression, something even worse was happening. Cleveland's baseball sales were going down.
Oh no.
That was it. Something had to be done. The Cleveland Indians baseball organizers gather round. Gentlemen, sales have been in the gutter these last few seasons. We need more people coming through those doors. It's then that someone has a brilliant idea. A baseball game
battle
where
royale.
alcoholic beverages are stupidly cheap.
Ah.
Now, Cleveland had run a similar promotion before in 1971, and it had gone very smoothly. So naturally, this time would be buttery smooth again.
Right.
Now, the average price for a beer in 1974 is about 65 cents.
Dang.
That's equivalent to around $3.57 in 2022.
That's still pretty cheap.
This game's beer would cost just 10 cents.
What is a beer like at a baseball game nowadays? Like $8 for a cup?
It's equivalent to about 50 cents in 2022. Keep in mind that the cheapest tickets to the game were about half
Whoops.
cents in 2022. 57 cents in 2022. This game's beer would cost just 10 cents. That's equivalent to about 50 cents in 2022.
50 cents for a beer? Holy shit, dude. Oh god. All right. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Keep in mind that the cheapest tickets to the game were about $50 back then. And you've got a ticket and 5 beers for just $1.
That's kind of insane.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But hold on. We can't let people go overboard.
Ah, they need a
Right.
limit, right?
How about we add a limit of 6 beers per purchase? Yep, that's good enough. It was genius.
Oh.
A baseball game where beers cost 10 cents. What should
Pep
we call
AD.
it? Hold on. I think I've got it.
10-cent
It's
beer night.
perfect. And with that, the planning of 10-cent beer night goes underway.
Oh boy.
But
Here we
before
go.
we move on, Raid. Shadow
Raid.
Legends. Do you have a mobile phone? Then
I do.
why aren't you already playing? Enjoy slaughtering hordes of enemies. Raid has plenty of it. What about tons of bosses and new updates every month? Raid has that too. Like collecting new champions. Look around. Champions. Almost 700 champions.
How long is this ad?
And the game's graphics.
Oh god, this is
my
long.
god. But what about
Okay, I'm gonna skip just because of how
Raid.
long it is. It's like a minute and a
Shadow
half.
Legends?
Go download it.
Now pick up the phone and download the game. June the 4th, 1974, Cleveland Baseball Stadium. After weeks of comprehensive planning, 10-cent beer night was ready to go. The Cleveland Indians and the Texas Rangers are in town and getting set to play each other later that evening. The beer trucks are coming in and loading up. So far, things are looking grand. There are also record numbers of people coming
Oh,
in.
I bet.
The average turnout for games last season had been a few thousand, but tonight, over 25,000 people had
Ooh,
rocked
dang
up.
boy.
That was over twice the amount they were expecting. Wow. The plan was working perfectly. But there is a little other thing brewing. See, the Texas Rangers and the Cleveland Indians actually have a little bit
Are
of
they
history.
rivals? Oh
Just
boy.
a week earlier, both teams had played each other down in Texas, and things got heated. The game had mostly been going smoothly.
Yeah.
That was until both teams' benches emptied out for
Oh,
a all-out
God.
brawl mid-game.
Okay, nice.
It didn't take long for fans
Oh,
to get
fans
involved,
too? Oh
and
my
Indians
god.
players are barraged by food and beer from Rangers fans on their way back to their benches. Cleveland's pitcher has to actually be physically restrained from
Jesus
climbing into the
Christ.
stands and fighting the fans. Also, at this point, Texas is being managed by a guy called Billy Martin.
Okay.
About Billy Martin. He drinks. A lot. Openly boasts about cheating to the teams he's playing against.
Okay.
And throughout his career was hired and fired from the New York Yankees about 5 separate times. One of those times for punching a marshmallow salesman in the face.
A marshmallow
He also
salesman?
fought
Why?
his own best player in the benches during a game. and even broke his pitcher's rib after having about 4 fights with him in a
Jesus
hotel.
Christ, why do you
This
keep getting
was one
hired?
night after almost having a fight with a groom celebrating his wedding night.
Oh my
It was fair
god.
to say, the man was no stranger to a fight.
Yeah,
And this guy was the manager of the Texas Rangers for 10-cent beer night.
nice. Okay.
It also turns out that he'd been having a jab at the Indians to the press, telling a reporter there wouldn't be enough fans at Cleveland Stadium to worry about. Cleveland's sports radio host spends the entire week amping up Cleveland's fans about it. Then there was the weekly paper's cartoon of the Indians' mascot, Chief Wahoo, who's holding up boxing gloves saying, "Be ready for anything," about
Oh
their
god.
next game.
Okay.
And tonight was the
That's
night
just-
Cleveland and Texas would finally play again. The only difference? 10
Beer.
times the fans and 10 cents a beer. All that combined with a local economy of laid-off factory workers, and 10-cent beer night's atmosphere was a bit uneasy. But nonetheless, the game begins and players start batting. The Rangers take the lead early on after their Tom Greaves scores a home run in the second inning.
Okay.
An inning basically being a round of play.
Right.
Now, unsurprisingly, the crowd at this point is already absolutely hammered.
By
And things are beginning to degenerate.
inning 3.
Fast. After the home run, a middle-aged woman decides to run onto the field.
Okay.
Okay, not too crazy. Wait, hold on. Is she flashing the crowd? My god. She also runs up to the head umpire and tries to kiss him. He says he's not in the kissing mood. She's eventually removed, and the game continues. In the 4th inning, Texas's Tom Greaves hits his second home run of the game.
Dang.
And fans celebrate.
Tom's popping off.
It's at this moment that a man sprints into the field and slides into second base.
Nice.
He's also naked.
Okay, of
By the
course.
way,
Right.
The ground around a base is made of an almost gravel-like material.
Yeah.
So this probably hurts.
Yeah. Oh
lot.
god. Yeah.
Security tries to catch him, but he slips away into the crowd, never to be seen again.
You got away with
Inning
it.
5. A man and his son run onto the field and moon the crowd. It's also around this point that a Cleveland batter hits a line drive straight into the Texas pitcher's stomach,
Ooh.
sending him to the ground. Cleveland fans in the upper stadium begin chanting, "Hit him again.
Hit him again."
harder." The organisers are sat down, watching this unfold live.
And they're like, hell yeah, dude.
This is going swimmingly.
Hell yeah.
However, it's at this point that someone bursts into the room. Gentlemen, a problem. The incredibly volatile and agitated crowd? No. We can't serve these beers fast enough.
Oh, makes
See,
sense.
early on, the demand for beer was so great that Cleveland staff couldn't actually haul the beers out of the trucks quick enough, resulting in very large,
Angry
very
crowds.
angry queues.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. What if we line the trucks behind the outfield fence and sell the beers straight from the back of the trucks? Genius. And beer trucks rock up to the fences and start pouring.
Okay,
Now back
sure.
to the game. And the atmosphere is currently changing. See, it's 1974, and for some reason, in 1974, it's fairly common practice to bring firecrackers to games. And 10-cent beer night was no exception. A ton of fans had bought them, and by God were they using them. And hundreds are set off in and around the stadium.
Oh, that's
This
dangerous.
results in a ton of smoke. That, coupled with people in the crowd banging literal war drums, gives the game an atmosphere more akin to a battlefield than a baseball game.
Jesus
But
Christ.
alas, the game goes on. And back on the field, Texas's Mike Hargrove is being pelted with hot dogs and spit. He's also almost hit with a gallon jug of wine.
Oh my god,
Firecrackers
dude.
are now also being thrown into Texas's warm-up area,
Jesus.
and the team members inside have to be evacuated
It's like an actual
immediately.
battleground, yeah.
Regardless of all of this, Texas is doing well, and currently 5-1 up. Now at this point, monumental amounts of beer and debris are being thrown onto the field. Announcers ask fans to try and keep the field clean, and a tidal wave of beers are thrown in immediately after.
Right.
An army of stewards are instantly deployed to clean it up. Meanwhile, in the outfield, fans have now actually thrown the tables separating them and the beers away, and are currently in the process of pillaging them. The bar staff also only consists of 2 teenage girls per truck. And unsurprisingly, they're now deciding it's probably time to leave.
Yeah.
10-cent
Get the
beer
fuck
night
out of there.
just got a 10-cent discount. The hordes rampage the trucks like wolves. But back on the field, and the onslaught continues. Texas players are being battered with beers, empty cups, rocks, bottles, batteries. for some
God,
reason,
dude, just cancel
and
the
more
game.
hot dogs. One player reckons he's hit with around 20 pounds of hot dogs. That's about the weight
That's
of
a lot of
bike
hot
or a
dogs.
sledgehammer. Organisers are sat nervously, still watching this all unfold. Fans on third base are now actively deconstructing the padding of the stadium wall.
Oh my
They
god.
actually almost get it off and up into the seats. However, the army of stewards abandon their trash job and stop them, spending the remainder of the game making sure the wall is kept intact. The crowds were now also bolder. Tons of them run onto the field, throw their clothes off, and start running around. Packs of fans are scurrying across the outfield.
What inning is this? Inning like 7 by now?
Streakers are everywhere. The 7th inning of the game commences, and most families and those that had remained sober had looked around and decided it was probably time to leave,
Yeah.
leaving only a mass of belligerent drunks left.
I'd love to watch it, honestly, dude. I'd love to be there, just sober,
The
watch it
9th
happen.
inning, the game's final one.
Just kind
And
of put me in the
Cleveland
back,
Indians
though.
had actually managed to rally back,
Oh, really? Wow.
tying the game 5-5.
Ooh.
Indians player Rusty Torres hits the ball and starts running. He gets to second
He's
base.
doing it.
The game-winning run is now in his reach. However, this is when things at 10-cent beer night hits critical mass.
Okay, alright. What's gonna happen?
It's near the end of the final inning,
Right.
and Rusty Torres is staring down the barrel of a potential win for the Cleveland Indians. However, a 19-year-old in the crowd has a very different idea. He decides to make a run on field and grab Texas outfielder Jeff Burrows' cap. Burrows confronts the fan, but trips and falls.
Oh.
Now, from the Texas bench's perspective in the dugout, it looked like the fan had attacked Burrows. Billy Martin is livid.
Oh, here we go.
He's quoted as saying, "Boys, let's go get him."
Let's go get
Before
him.
grabbing a
Rattle
bat
them,
and
boys.
literally charging the field.
Oh my god.
All of his players behind him also wielding bats. On the field,
You're gonna
they
fucking
find
murder the
Burrows
guy.
unharmed, but their charge had started something ungodly. Now gone from the field were the goofy streakers and silly pitch invaders, and something morbid was replacing them. An army of fans had crafted knives, chains, clubs, and other weapons from the stadium's seats,
No way,
fences,
dude.
and
Oh
other
my
general infrastructure,
god.
and were now storming the field with them. It was clear
Did someone die
the
during
Battle
this?
Royale had begun. Where we dropping, boys?
Where are we dropping, boys?
Hordes of fans descend upon the field at breakneck speed and began looting. Beers? Delicious. Bases? Take 'em.
Hell yeah. Of course.
Stadium debris? Nice. While a large number of armed fans storm the field, others stay back and continue air support by hurling bottles from the stands. And before long, there were 200 plus fans on field.
Is that an actual picture?
Building Mad
Jeez.
Max style DIY weaponry surrounding the 25 Rangers, with more fans dropping in constantly. The organisers are now sweating heavily. If we don't do something here, boys, things might start to get out of hand. We'll get security on it.
Right.
Wait, hold on. We only hired 50 of them. Dear God. The stadium's
that's a little,
organist steps
it's a
in.
little low.
It's alright, lads. I've got this. And he starts playing Take Me Out to the ball game.
Oh, nice. That was,
Back on the field,
that'll solve
and
everything.
Cleveland's manager now realizes that Texas's players' lives are actually at risk here. He and his own men also grab their bats and go in, literally attacking their own fans in the process. Rioters begin throwing steel chairs at players, and Cleveland pitcher Tom Hilgendorf is hit in the head. The umpire is also hit on the head. He ends the game by forfeiting it to Texas and runs away. It was clear. This situation is becoming incredibly dangerous, so managers try to get their teams back to the benches and out of the stadium. However, on his way back to the benches, Texas's Mike Hargrove gets into a fist fight with a fan.
Nice.
By the way, the game's announcers are calling all of this out in real time.
Oh my god, of course they are.
Hilgendorf has been hit on the head. Yogi is in definite pain. Hargrove has got some kid on the ground and he is really administering a beating. Hargrove eventually gets the fan down,
Oh my
but
god.
is almost
Yamcha.
immediately hit by another one. However, the sight of the players swinging bats at the rioters starts to lower the rioters' morale, and they back off a bit. Seeing this, benched players form a rear guard, and players take advantage of what might be their only opportunity to get out. Both teams beeline to the benches and through the tunnels. They'd made it, leaving a violent mob of baseball fans alone on the field. In the midst of all of this carnage, a local sports writer is out on the field, attempting to interview people. He approaches multiple fans, but eventually gives up after getting punched in the face twice. Alright boys, take me out to the ball game clearly isn't working, and we have essentially no security here. There's only one option left,
Call in the military.
and the riot is eventually quelled by Cleveland's own SWAT team.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude.
And so, after thousands of dollars of damage, casualties left, right and centre, and a literal battle royale breaking out mid-game, 10-cent beer night had come to an end. Of the hundreds of rioters in the field, only 9 arrests were made. Throughout the night, 60,000 beers consumed,
Goddamn,
19
boy.
streakers, an
That's it?
unquantifiable amount of damage to the stadium, and by the end of it, every single base stolen. They were never returned.
Oh.
It had been nothing short of an absolute travesty.
I wonder how much it cost. How much, like, what was the profit for that? For
There would be
repairs and
another
shit.
10-cent beer night held a month later.
Actually, though? Oh my god. That's pretty funny. Cleveland is like the gift that keeps only in Ohio, baby. Average Ohio baseball game.